Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Super English Talks, where we learn English not from textbooks, but from real-life stories, spoken slowly, clearly, and with feeling. Listen closely. I want you to imagine something simple. Something you have probably done many times. Something that starts with just a small sound. A click. Yes, just a click. One little click that opens the door to a huge world. A world full of choices, colors, sizes, reviews, and sometimes surprises. Today, inside this story, we explore that world together. Welcome to Super English Talks. And welcome to a warm and friendly story about buying things online. This is English you can understand, English you can feel, and English you can use every day. Let's begin with our main character. His name is Daniel. Daniel is not a big shopper. He does not like going to crowded stores. He does not enjoy waiting in long lines or walking from shop to find one simple thing. So one day, when he needs a new pair of headphones, he does what millions of people do every day. He opens his laptop, sits on his bed, and types 3 small words, "Best cheap headphones." And at that moment, the story begins. The page opens slowly. Pictures load one by one. He sees shiny black headphones, small white ones, colorful ones that glow in the dark. He sees prices that look too low to be real. He sees ratings with stars, some gold and bright, others dark and empty. He scrolls and scrolls until he feels a strange kind of excitement. You might know that feeling. The feeling of looking for the perfect thing. The one that feels right. The one that feels like a good deal. But Daniel quickly learns something. When you shop online, things are not always simple. The first headphones he looks at have 5 beautiful stars. 5. He smiles. Wow, these must be great, he thinks. But then he reads the reviews below. The first review says, "Amazing quality. I love them." The second review says, "Terrible product. Broke after 2 days. Do not buy." And Daniel stops. He frowns. How can something be amazing and terrible at the same time? This is the moment when many people feel confused. Maybe you feel it too when you read reviews online. This is the moment when you ask yourself, who should I believe? And that question, simple as it is, leads Daniel into a small adventure. An adventure not outside his house, but inside his mind. An adventure that teaches him how to read English reviews, how to understand English descriptions, and how to shop with confidence. As Daniel reads more, he notices something interesting. Some reviews feel real. Others feel strange. One says, "This product changed my life." Daniel laughs. Headphones? Changed your life. Another says only good. No details. No explanation. He wonders if the person even used the headphones. And this is when you, right now, listening to this story, can learn something important. Online shopping is not only about buying things. It is also about reading, thinking, understanding people, and making smart choices. It's a chance to practice English with real-life phrases and real human emotions. Daniel keeps scrolling. He reads, "These headphones are worth the price. These headphones feel cheap. These headphones arrived late. These headphones arrived early. These headphones sound clear. These headphones stopped working." So many different opinions. So many different experiences. And he thinks, how can the same product create so many different stories? He stops scrolling. He closes his eyes. He takes a slow breath. He remembers something his friend Emily once told him. When you shop online, don't look only at the stars. Read the story. Those words return to him now. Read the story. And so he does. He starts with longer reviews. Reviews that explain. Reviews that describe. Reviews that use simple, honest English. One review says, "I like these headphones because the sound is soft and warm. But the cable is short." so be careful if you want to use them at the gym. Daniel nods. Okay, that helps. Another review says, the packaging was bad, but the product is okay. Just don't expect too much. And Daniel thinks, fair enough. He learns something very useful. Good reviews tell you what is good and what is not good. Bad reviews explain why the product failed for someone. Honest reviews feel like real conversation. Daniel becomes more confident. He begins to understand English shopping phrases more easily. Words like quality, shipping, packaging, seller, return policy, and refund. He learns that value for money means something is worth what you pay. He learns that as described means the product is the same as the pictures and text. Slowly, this world of online shopping stops feeling confusing and starts feeling exciting, like a new place he can explore with English as his guide. And without knowing it, he is practicing English, real English, the English that people use every day. He scrolls to the next item. New headphones, new pictures, new reviews. The stars look good, but not perfect. And something inside Daniel whispers, maybe this is the one. But before he clicks anything, a small message appears at the bottom of the screen, only 3 left in stock. And he freezes. Should I buy it now? He wonders. What if it sells out? What if I wait too long? His heart beats a little faster. This is the moment. The moment that every online shopper knows. The moment of decision. Will Daniel click Add to Cart? Or will he keep searching? Hold that question for a moment. Because before Daniel chooses, he needs to understand something deeper. Something we will explore together in the next section, the true meaning of online shopping in English and how the language behind every little button, every little review, and every little word can change the way we think. Daniel sits on his bed with his laptop warming his legs. He looks again at the message, only 3 left in stock. He feels a gentle push inside his mind, like someone telling him to hurry. But he stops. He whispers to himself, no, not yet. I need to understand everything first. And so we slow down here. Together. Very slowly. Because one of the goals of Super English Talks is not just to tell you a story, but to help you understand English naturally. And the world of online shopping is full of useful English phrases. Every button, every message, every review is an opportunity to practice. So let's gently walk with Daniel through this world and let the English enter your mind in a calm and friendly way. Daniel notices a small button under the product picture. It says, Add to Cart. He says it out loud. Add to Cart. Simple words. Add means put something in. Cart means a basket or a shopping bag. And suddenly, the words make sense. It is not magic. It is simple English. Next to that button, another message appears, Buy now. That one is even simpler. Buy now. Not later. Not tomorrow. Now. It feels strong. It feels direct. It feels like the website is talking to him. He sees more text, free shipping. Daniel smiles. Everybody loves free shipping. He clicks on the small question mark next to it, and a box opens. Free shipping available for orders over $25. He nods. Okay, that makes sense. He learns a new phrase, orders over. This means if he spends more than a certain amount, shipping costs nothing. He scrolls down slowly. Another phrase appears, expected delivery, January 14th to 17th. Daniel likes this one. It tells him when the headphones will arrive. He repeats the words softly, letting them flow like warm water. Expected delivery. Expected delivery. These are longer words, but they are not difficult when you hear them in a real sentence. He reads the product description. Lightweight design. Comfortable ear pads. Clear sound for music and calls. Durable cable with built-in microphone. He focuses on the word durable. He reads it again. Durable means strong, long-lasting, he whispers, practicing. He learns without stress. He learns by feeling the story. And then he sees one more phrase, 30-day return policy. He clicks on it. A box opens. You can return this item within 30 days if you are not satisfied. He nods again. So return means send back. And satisfied means happy with the product. He feels a quiet sense of success. Not because he has bought something, but because he is understanding more English than he expected. And this happens to many learners. When English appears in a real context, like shopping online, the mind connects the words with actions, pictures, and real feelings. As Daniel reads more, he finds a strange review. Arrived with damage. Box was open. Not happy. He imagines a sad face behind that short message. But there is another review right under it. Fast delivery. Perfect condition. Great sound. He imagines a happy smile there. This makes him think. It makes him wonder about the people writing these reviews. Who are they? Where do they live? Why do they have such different experiences? And maybe you, listening right now, have the same thoughts when you read English reviews. Some reviews are angry. Some are funny. Some are short. Some are long. Some are helpful. Some are confusing. But all of them are written by real people, and they help you practice real English. Daniel decides to try something new. He filters the reviews. He clicks on Most Recent. And suddenly, the page changes. The reviews are now arranged from newest to oldest. He learns a new phrase, Most Recent. It means the newest reviews appear first. Very useful phrase. He reads slowly, practicing the rhythm of English. Good value for money. Not as described. Excellent packaging. Would buy again. Poor customer service. Works better than I expected. These phrases begin to dance gently in his mind. Each one teaches him something new. Each one helps him feel more comfortable with English. He scrolls and scrolls until he finds a long review. The longest so far. And long reviews are like treasure for English learners. He reads, I bought these headphones last month. The sound quality is good, and the battery lasts almost a full day. But the earpads are a little small, so they can feel uncomfortable after an hour. The seller responded to my questions quickly, and the product arrived on time. Overall, I think these headphones are worth the price. Daniel smiles. The review feels real, balanced, human. Not too positive. Not too negative. And he thinks, okay, this helps. This feels honest. Slowly, the world of online shopping becomes a world of English learning. A place of discovery. A place where simple words grow into full sentences. A place where Daniel and you can understand more and more without fear. Now Daniel feels ready to choose. Almost ready. But before he makes the final decision, something happens. Something small but important. A new message pops up. Someone in your area bought this item 10 minutes ago. Daniel freezes again. Is this true? Is it a trick? Is it marketing? He is not sure. But he knows one thing. He must make a decision soon. Daniel sits quietly, staring at the small message on his laptop screen. Someone in your area bought this item 10 minutes ago. The words glow softly in front of him, almost like they are whispering, hurry, hurry. But Daniel is not sure if he should trust this message. Is it real? Is it supposed to make him buy faster? Is it just a little trick? He leans back on his pillow and thinks. And during this moment of thinking, something important begins inside him, a small seed of doubt. Not big, not heavy, but gentle, like a soft voice asking, are you making the right choice? This doubt is something many people feel when they shop online. We want to find the best deal. We want to read the right reviews. We want to choose wisely. But sometimes there are too many choices, too many opinions, too many words. And our minds get tired. Daniel feels exactly that. He closes the page for a moment and takes a deep breath. He whispers to himself, "Okay, Daniel, relax. You don't need to rush." And he is right. Good decisions come from calm thinking, not panic. He opens the page again. The headphones are still there. Still shiny. Still beautiful. Still calling to him. Only 3 left in stock, the page says again. Before 8 p.m. to get it tomorrow, another message says. And Daniel feels something else now, the pressure of time. This soft time pressure is a common trick used in online shops. And for English learners, it is also a chance to understand phrases about urgency. Words like before, left, get it by, and arrives tomorrow. These phrases appear again and again. Daniel scrolls down to see the reviews again. He wants to be sure. Completely sure. One review says, amazing product. Another says, not worth the price. One person says the sound is great. Another says the sound is terrible. And the doubt grows again. Why is this so hard? Daniel whispers. It's just headphones. But you and I know something. It's not really about headphones. It's about understanding. It's about confidence. It's about feeling comfortable with English and with decisions. Daniel decides to do something different, something he has never done before. He opens a new tab and searches, "Are these headphones good?" And suddenly, he finds a long article. The article is written in simple English. It talks about sound quality, comfort, design, and price. Daniel reads each line slowly, repeating some phrases out loud. Sound quality is clear and balanced. Comfortable for long use. Not ideal for sports. Good for studying and working. Daniel nods. This feels better. This feels like real information. He continues reading. These headphones are popular because they offer good value for money. Many users say they are reliable, but some say the cable is a little weak. Overall, they're a good choice for everyday use. Now Daniel feels something new, a soft wave of understanding. Not perfect understanding, but enough. Enough to feel comfortable. He returns to the shopping page. He looks again at the headphones. But suddenly, another thought appears in his mind, another seed of doubt. What if the color looks different in real life? What if the size is not right? What if the package comes late? What if I don't like them? And this is where the story becomes real. Because everybody who shops online knows these questions. These tiny questions that can make us stop for a long time. But then Daniel remembers the phrase he learned earlier, 30-day return policy. Yes, he whispers. That means I can return them if I don't like them. And the doubt becomes smaller. Softer. Almost invisible. He scrolls to the product description again. He reads slowly. Built-in microphone. Noise reduction. Soft ear cushions. Lightweight. Easy to carry. He smiles. He can imagine himself using them while listening to music, watching videos, or practicing English. He touches his old headphones beside him, the ones that only play sound in one ear now. They look tired. They look like they need a long rest. Daniel laughs softly. Okay, maybe it's really time for a new pair. But still, he doesn't click buy now. Not yet. Because something inside him says, check one more thing. So he scrolls down to the seller information. The text says, seller rating, 4.8 out of 5. 95% positive feedback. Ships within 24 hours. Daniel learns another useful phrase, positive feedback. It means people are happy with the seller. This is important when buying online because a good seller means less worry. He reads more. Customer service responds quickly. Fast returns. Secure packaging. Now Daniel begins to smile. He feels the confidence growing again, stronger than before. But then, something unusual happens. A new advertisement appears at the bottom of the page. Another pair of headphones. A little cheaper. A little different. And now the doubt returns again, bigger this time. He clicks on the new headphones. He reads the reviews. Some are good. Some are bad. The usual mix. He compares the pictures. He compares the prices. He compares the comments. Now he is stuck between two choices. This is a new problem, a very modern problem, the problem of too many options. Which one is better? Which one is right for him? Should he spend a little more? Should he save money? And as he feels this confusion, something else begins. A soft, warm realization. A tiny voice inside him says, maybe the product doesn't matter as much as you think. Maybe it's the decision that matters. He looks again at the first pair. He looks again at the second pair. And something inside him whispers, very gently, trust yourself. He returns to the first pair. He scrolls one more time. He reads one more long review. He checks the seller one more time. He breathes in slowly. He breathes out slowly. And then he clicks. Add to cart. The sound is soft. A tiny click. But inside Daniel's mind, it feels like a small victory. Not because he bought something, but because he made a decision in English. He understood the phrases, the reviews, the descriptions, the warnings, the details. He trusted himself. Now the cart icon shows a number 1. Daniel smiles. But his journey is not finished. Oh no. When you buy something online, the real adventure starts after the click. There are emails, tracking numbers, delivery updates, delays, excitement, and sometimes surprises. Daniel takes one more deep breath. He whispers, okay, now what happens next? And that is where our next part of the story begins, the journey from the add to cart moment to the your order is on its way moment. Daniel closes his laptop slowly, like someone closing a book after finishing an important chapter. The room is quiet. The light from his small lamp makes everything feel warm. And inside his chest, he feels something soft and exciting, the feeling you get after buying something online. A mix of happiness, curiosity, and a little fear. He lies down on his bed and whispers to himself, I did it. Not loudly, just a small whisper. Because the journey has only started. When you buy something online, the real story begins after the click. The moment after add to cart is almost like the first step on a road. And now, Daniel is walking on that road. It is a road full of English messages, emails, updates, and emotions. And you are walking with him. A few minutes later, Daniel hears a soft sound from his phone. Ding. He picks it up. There it is, an email. The subject line says, your order confirmation. Daniel smiles. This is a sentence he has seen before, but now he reads it more carefully. Order confirmation means the company has received his order. The email continues. Thank you for your purchase, Daniel. Your order has been processed. Estimated delivery, January 15th. Daniel repeats the phrases softly. Thank you for your purchase. Order has been processed. Estimated delivery. Each phrase feels like a small piece of English he can hold in his hands. He scrolls down the email. Another line appears. You can track your order using the link below. Track your order. He knows the word track from videos about animals, like tracking footprints. But now the word means something different. It means watching the journey of his package, following it step by step. He clicks the link. A new page opens. It shows a long line with small circles. Order confirmed, green. Preparing package, gray. Shipped, gray. Out for delivery, gray. Delivered, gray. Daniel feels something warm inside him. This is fun, he thinks. Like watching a little story of its own. He closes his phone and stretches. The night is quiet. He thinks about how English appears everywhere in this process. Not hard English. Not fast English. But simple English that helps him understand the world. He turns off the light and goes to sleep with one small hope. I hope the package arrives on time. The next morning, before he even washes his face, he checks his phone again. Another email. This one says, "Your order is preparing to ship." He repeats the phrase gently, preparing to ship. Preparing means getting ready. Ship means send. Simple. Clear. Daniel smiles. Okay, it's happening. He makes breakfast and sits at the table. His mind keeps drifting back to his headphones. He imagines the workers packing boxes, printing labels, scanning items. He imagines his headphones sitting somewhere in a warehouse, waiting to begin their journey. Then, around noon, another message appears. Ding. He opens it quickly. Your package has been shipped. Shipped. The gray circle has turned green. Daniel whispers, "This is exciting." He scrolls down. There is a tracking number. A long number with letters and digits. He doesn't understand the code, but he knows it is important. It tells him where the package is. And right below it, a line says, "Expected to arrive tomorrow by 8 p.m." He says the sentence slowly, practicing, "Expected to arrive tomorrow by 8 p.m." He feels so proud. Not because he bought something, but because he can read these messages easily now. He doesn't need a translation. He doesn't need help. The day continues. Daniel goes to work. He tries to focus. He tries to think about other things. But every few hours, he checks the tracking page. The first update reads, "Package has left the warehouse." Hours later, package is in transit. Daniel learns another phrase, in transit. It means the package is traveling. He imagines the box sitting inside a truck, moving through the city. He imagines the movement, the roads, the people working. And every time he thinks of it, he gets excited again. But soon, something else happens. Something many online shoppers know very well. The waiting starts to feel long. At first, Daniel checks the page every hour. Then every 30 minutes. Then every 10 minutes. He refreshes and refreshes. But the message doesn't change. In transit. And now, a new feeling appears. A feeling called impatience. He starts thinking, why is it taking so long? Why are there no new updates? What if something goes wrong? What if the package gets lost? This is normal. This is human. And this is part of the story. In the afternoon, he checks again. Still in transit. In the evening, the same. At night, the same. Daniel lies on his bed and laughs softly at himself. I'm acting like a child waiting for a toy. He closes his eyes and whispers, "Relax, it will come." And slowly, he falls asleep. The next morning, he checks his phone immediately. And this time, finally, the message has changed. Out for delivery. Daniel sits up straight. Out for delivery means the package is on the delivery truck. It is coming to his house today. He reads the sentence again and again, enjoying each word. Out for delivery. He gets dressed fast. He eats quickly. He sits by the window for a moment. He listens for any sound, a truck, footsteps, a knock. He waits. Hours pass. Morning becomes noon. Noon becomes afternoon. Still no package. Daniel begins to feel nervous again. What if the delivery person can't find his address? What if the package goes to the wrong house? What if he misses the delivery? He stays near the window. He stays close to the door. He refreshes the tracking page again and again. And then, at around 3 p.m., the message changes. Delivery attempted. No one home. Daniel freezes. What? No one home. He was home. He was waiting. He feels a cold drop of confusion. He whispers, How? How can they say I wasn't home? He scrolls down. A line explains, your package will be delivered again tomorrow. Daniel sighs. A long, deep sigh. He feels disappointed. A little frustrated. A little sad. But then he sees another sentence. If you want, you can contact customer service. Customer service. Another English phrase. Another opportunity to learn. Daniel thinks for a moment. Should he call? Should he write a message? His English is good, but speaking on the phone makes him nervous. He takes a breath. I can do this, he whispers. He opens the customer service chat. A small box appears. How can we help you today? Daniel begins typing. Hello. I received a message that says delivery was attempted, but I was home all day. He reads his message again. It feels clear. It feels polite. He presses send. A minute later, a reply appears. Hello, Daniel. We're sorry for the inconvenience. Inconvenience. A new word. A gentle, formal way of saying problem. The message continues. We will contact the delivery driver and make sure your package arrives tomorrow before 12 p.m. Daniel smiles softly. He feels relieved. He feels proud of himself for sending the message. He closes the chat, leans back, and whispers, okay, one more day. I can wait. He looks out the window and feels calm again. The waiting game continues, but now he feels stronger. Because waiting is not just waiting. It is learning. It is understanding English. It is communicating. It is trusting the process. Tomorrow, the package will arrive. At least, that's what Daniel hopes. Morning arrives gently, with soft light touching the edges of Daniel's room. He opens his eyes slowly, and the very first thing he thinks about is the same thing he thought about yesterday, the package. He reaches for his phone before he even gets out of bed. His fingers, still sleepy, tap the screen. One new notification. He opens it. The tracking page shows a new message, out for delivery, arriving before 12 p.m. Daniel smiles. A warm, hopeful smile. This time, the message feels real. Clear. Solid. He whispers the words softly, practicing them like simple lines in a calm English lesson. Out for delivery, arriving before 12. He sits up on his bed, stretches, and says to himself, today is the day. He gets ready quickly. He washes his face, brushes his teeth, eats a light breakfast, but his mind keeps returning to the same thought again and again. It's coming. It's finally coming. He stays close to the window. He listens for sounds. The world outside is alive, dogs barking, people talking, cars moving, but he is listening for something special. The low rumble of a delivery truck. Every few minutes, he checks the tracking page again. Still the same message. Still up for delivery. Hours pass slowly. 8:30 a.m., 9:15 a.m., 10:20 a.m., 10:55 a.m., 11:10 a.m. Still nothing. Then, finally, he hears it. A soft engine sound. A door sliding open. Footsteps. Someone walking down the street. Daniel stands up quickly. He moves to the window. He sees a delivery truck, white, with a blue logo. He sees a delivery person carrying a small rectangular box. The person reads an address, checks a paper, walks 2 houses down, not Daniel's house. Daniel sighs. A soft, nervous sigh. But the truck is still there. The delivery person returns to the truck, checks something again, picks up another box. This time, he walks in Daniel's direction. Daniel feels his heart beat a little faster. A small wave of excitement washes over him. He waits, watches. The delivery person stops. Right at Daniel's gate. Daniel walks quickly to the door, opens it gently, and says, hello. The delivery person smiles and hands him a small box. Package for Daniel, he says. Yes, that's me, Daniel replies. He signs his name on a small screen. The delivery person nods and walks away. And now Daniel stands at the door, holding the box in his hands. The box he waited for. The box he checked again and again. The box he imagined moving through roads and streets and trucks. He closes the door softly. He walks to his table. He places the box down. And he just looks at it for a moment. He smiles. He laughs quietly. He whispers, finally. But now something strange happens. Something very human. Something very real. He feels scared. Why scared? Because what if the headphones are not good? What if they look different? What if the reviews were wrong? What if he doesn't like them? What if something is broken? All the doubts he felt before come rushing back into his mind. He sits down and places his hands on the box. The cardboard feels rough and cool. He breathes slowly. Okay, Daniel, let's do this. He opens the box very carefully. First the tape. Then the small flaps. Then the inside packaging. He lifts the plastic cover. He sees something unexpected. Inside the box, instead of a pair of black headphones, he sees a small, bright, orange, portable speaker. A speaker. Not headphones. A speaker he never ordered. Daniel freezes. His eyes widen. His mouth opens just a little. What is this? He whispers. He picks up the speaker softly, like it might break. He looks inside the box again. Empty. Just the speaker. No headphones. He feels a mix of emotions. Confusion. Disappointment. A little anger. A little fear. How can this happen? He whispers to himself. I ordered headphones, not this. He sits back on his chair. He holds his head with one hand. He breathes slowly. This happens sometimes in online shopping. A mistake. A wrong item. A mix-up. And when it happens, you learn new English, not just happy English, but problem English. English for mistakes. English for solutions. Daniel opens his laptop quickly. He goes to his order page. He clicks on Help with Order. A new page opens. It says, What problem are you experiencing? He reads the options. Item missing. Wrong item received. Item damaged. Other problem. Daniel clicks on Wrong item received. Another box appears. Please describe the issue. He types slowly. I ordered black headphones, but I received an orange speaker. He reads his message again to check if it is clear. It feels simple. Direct. Correct. He presses send. A small chat box opens. Thank you, Daniel. We are reviewing your issue. He waits. A few seconds later, a new message appears. We are very sorry for the mistake. We can offer two options. We send you the correct item immediately. We refund your money. Daniel thinks. He looks at the orange speaker. It looks kind of cool, but it's not what he needs. He types, I want the correct item. A new message appears, understood. We will send your headphones today. No need to return the speaker. Please keep it as a gift. Daniel's eyes widen again. A gift? They're letting him keep the speaker? He smiles. A big smile. A real smile. So I get both, he whispers to himself. He writes back, thank you very much. The support agent replies, you're welcome, Daniel. Expected delivery, 2 days from now. Daniel sits back on his chair, smiling, laughing softly. His emotions change again from frustration to relief to unexpected happiness. He whispers, this is crazy, but good crazy. He places the speaker on his table. He picks it up, turns it around, presses the power button. A small sound plays, beep beep. It works. He laughs. This isn't what I ordered, he says softly. But maybe this is a little gift from the universe. He sits back and thinks about the past few days. The searching. The reading. The reviews. The tracking, the waiting, the doubt, the fear, the excitement, the mistake, the surprise. All of it has become a journey in English, a journey of trust and patience, A journey of small lessons and small victories. Now he waits again, but this time, he waits calmly. Because he knows the right headphones are coming. And now he has something extra, a bright orange speaker. He turns it on again. He plays gentle music. Soft notes fill the room. Warm sounds float around him. He closes his eyes. The room is filled with soft music from the little orange speaker. The sound is warm, a bit bright, and surprisingly clear. Daniel sits on his bed, gently tapping his fingers on the blanket, listening to a simple melody. He closes his eyes and lets the music hug him, almost like a gentle friend sitting beside him. But after a moment, he opens his eyes again. His mind begins to think. And think. And think. This whole thing, this shopping experience, it's kind of funny, he whispers to himself. He looks at the empty headphone box on the table. He looks at the speaker in his hand. He looks at the order page on his laptop. A mistake happened. But that mistake taught him something. Something important. He learned new English phrases. He learned how to talk to customer service. He learned how to explain a problem clearly. He learned that mistakes happen, and they can still end well. He thinks back to the reviews he read earlier. Some people wrote about broken items. Some wrote about wrong items. Some wrote about late deliveries. Some wrote about great experiences. Back then, he didn't understand why people wrote such different stories. But now he does. Because now he has a story too. He opens the review page for the headphones again. He scrolls down slowly. He reads the words with new eyes. A review says, "I received the wrong item. Customer service was helpful." Daniel nods. "Yes, that happened to me too." Another review says, "Shipping was fast, but packaging was not strong." Daniel touches the cardboard box on his table. It looks a little weak. He nods again. "I understand." Another review says, "Product is good, but be careful with the seller." Daniel smiles softly. "Yes, always check seller rating." Then he sees a long review. A thoughtful one. "I always read reviews carefully because they help me choose." Not every review is true. Some are angry. Some are happy. Some are fake. But when you read many reviews, you understand the big picture. You learn how to choose the right product. Daniel reads that line again. You learn how to choose the right product. He repeats it slowly. "Yes, that's what I'm learning." He scrolls more. Another review catches his eye. It says, "Online shopping is not perfect, but you learn something from every experience." Daniel smiles. That is exactly how I feel. He thinks back to the email from customer service. The message was polite, clear, helpful. He remembers how nervous he felt before writing his message. He remembers the doubt. What if my English is not good enough? What if they don't understand me? What if I make a mistake? But he wrote it anyway. And they understood him. And they helped him. This small moment gives Daniel a new kind of confidence. A confidence that grows quietly, like a small plant growing in warm sunlight. He whispers, "I can handle things in English. Even problems." And that is a beautiful feeling. A powerful feeling. A feeling that makes him sit up a little straighter. He puts the speaker down gently and opens his laptop. He goes back to his order page. He sees the new message, replacement headphones arriving in 2 days. He clicks on the tracking link. A new line appears, shipping label created. Shipping label. He thinks, this means they printed the sticker for my package. He smiles. He loves understanding these small phrases now. They feel like tiny pieces of a puzzle he is slowly completing. He sits back on his chair and thinks, maybe I should write a review too. Maybe my story can help someone. He opens the review box. A blank space waits for his words. He takes a deep breath and starts typing. I ordered headphones, but I received a speaker by mistake. I contacted customer service and they replied quickly. They sent the correct item and let me keep the speaker as a gift. I am happy with their service. Thank you. He reads his message carefully. He smiles. It feels simple. It feels friendly. It feels true. He presses Submit Review. The page refreshes. His review appears at the top. For the first time, Daniel feels like part of the online shopping world, not just as a buyer, but as a helper. Someone who can guide others. Someone who can share his experience. He leans back and thinks about all the English he used today. All the English he understood. All the English he wrote. He whispers softly, I'm improving. I can tell. His confidence grows again. Slowly. Quietly. But clearly. He decides to explore more. He clicks on another product page, not to buy something, but to practice reading English descriptions. He reads, water-resistant, lightweight design, customer reviews, frequently asked questions, add to wish list. He repeats the words softly, letting them flow like small waves. Water-resistant, lightweight, wish list. Each word feels easier than before. He scrolls through another review section. He reads the emotions of people. Happy people. Frustrated people. Surprised people. People from different places, writing in simple English. He feels connected to them. He feels part of a community of shoppers and learners and everyday people. He whispers, I like reading reviews. It's like listening to stories. And he is right. Reviews are not just comments. They are small stories. Short stories of real people. Stories written in simple English that anyone can understand. And now Daniel knows this. He feels ready. Ready for the next step. Ready for the next part of the journey. The replacement headphones will arrive in 2 days. But those 2 days will not be just waiting. They will be days of learning, practicing, and growing. Daniel looks around his room. The orange speaker plays a soft, gentle melody. The laptop screen glows softly. The air feels calm. He whispers, this mistake was not really a mistake. It was a lesson. The next day arrives quietly, with soft morning light touching Daniel's curtains. But this time, the morning feels different. It does not feel stressful. It does not feel confusing. It feels calm, warm, steady. Daniel wakes up slowly and stretches. The little orange speaker sits on his bedside table like a tiny friend, keeping him company. He turns it on and plays gentle morning music. Soft piano notes float around his room, making everything feel peaceful. He sits up and whispers, okay, another day. But this time, I'm ready. He reaches for his phone, but unlike yesterday, he does not grab it quickly. He does not rush. He picks it up calmly, unlocks it, and checks his emails. One message appears. Your replacement item has shipped. He smiles. A simple, warm smile. He taps the tracking link. A new page appears. Shipping label created, green package received, green in transit, gray out for delivery, gray delivered, gray. Daniel nods slowly. Yes, it's starting. He reads each line out loud, practicing the rhythm of English. Shipping label created. Package received. In transit. These phrases are no longer confusing. They are familiar. Friendly. Comfortable. He stands up and makes a cup of tea. He holds the warm cup in both hands and whispers, this is different. I'm not nervous anymore. He walks to his window and watches the street. People are moving. Cars are passing. Birds are singing. The world feels slow and simple today. And in his mind, Daniel feels something new, patience. Not the heavy patience you force on yourself, but a light patience, like a soft cloud drifting in the sky. He sits at his table and opens his laptop. Not to check the tracking page again and again. Not to worry. But to continue reading reviews, not for shopping, but for practice. He opens a page for a pair of running shoes. He is not buying shoes, but he wants to read the reviews to practice English. He scrolls down. A review says, "These shoes are comfortable and light. Perfect for walking." He repeats the words. Comfortable. Light. Walking. Another review says, "The size runs small. Order one size bigger." He reads slowly. Size runs small. He remembers seeing this phrase many times. He learns something new. Some English phrases appear again and again in reviews. Phrases like, good value, as described, fast shipping, poor quality, would buy again, item arrived damaged. He repeats each phrase softly. They begin to feel natural. He scrolls more. He finds a long review, his favorite kind. He reads it like reading a small story. I bought these shoes for my morning walks. They are light and comfortable, but the color is slightly different from the picture. Still, they fit well and I enjoy wearing them. Daniel nods as he reads. The English is clear, honest, helpful. He smiles and whispers, I understand everything. He feels proud, quietly proud, like a plant growing strongly after a long rain. For a moment, he forgets about the headphones completely. He is simply enjoying English. He is learning without fear. He is practicing without stress. After a while, he checks the tracking page again. Still in transit. But this time, he doesn't feel any impatience. He is not refreshing the page every 30 seconds. He is not worried. He whispers, it will come when it comes. He sits back and plays music on the orange speaker. Soft music fills the room. The sound is surprisingly clear and gentle. He thinks about how he felt 2 days ago, nervous, confused, uncertain. And now he feels stable, confident, calm. He realizes something important. English feels easier when I don't fight it. He says the sentence again. English feels easier when I don't fight it. He smiles at his own thought. He closes the review page and opens a news article written in simple English. He reads a short paragraph about a new park opening in a nearby city. He repeats some of the sentences softly. He practices pronunciation. He listens to himself speaking. He whispers, I can do this. I really can. Hours pass gently. The day is slow, but peaceful. Daniel studies a little. He listens to music. He checks the tracking page only sometimes. And every time it still says, in transit, he just nods and says, it's okay. In the afternoon, he goes for a walk. He leaves the house with the little speaker playing music in his hand. He enjoys the fresh air, the soft wind, the warm sun on his face. He walks through the park and sees children playing, people talking, dogs running happily. Everything feels light. He sits on a bench and closes his eyes for a moment. He listens to the music. He listens to the wind. He listens to the sound of leaves moving. He feels connected to the world, connected to his thoughts, connected to his English. He whispers softly, I'm growing, every day. After a peaceful walk, he returns home and checks the tracking page again. A new message appears. Package arrived at local facility. Daniel smiles. Not the excited smile from the first time. A calm, gentle smile. It's close, he whispers. It's almost here. He sits at his desk, plays more music, and begins practicing simple English phrases he learned from shopping. I would like to return this item. Is this product in stock? Can you help me with my order? The size is not correct. The color is not the same as the picture. I want a refund. I want a replacement. He speaks them slowly, clearly, confidently. He feels proud. He feels ready. Then he practices positive phrases. This product is very good. The quality is excellent. The packaging was strong. It arrived on time. I'm happy with my purchase. He smiles again. This is good practice, he whispers. Evening arrives. The sky outside turns soft orange, then pink, then deep blue. Daniel sits by his window, watching the colors change. Before going to bed, he checks the tracking page one more time. A new message appears, out for delivery, tomorrow morning. He feels a soft excitement, but not the strong, nervous type. It is gentle, warm, balanced. He whispers, "Okay, tomorrow I meet the real headphones." He turns off the light, lies down, and listens to the tiny speaker playing soft nighttime music. As he closes his eyes, he thinks, waiting is easier when I trust the process. English is easier when I relax. And life is easier when I stay calm. The morning comes softly, like a quiet whisper. The sky outside is pale and peaceful. Daniel opens his eyes slowly, takes a deep breath, and stretches his arms. For a moment, he just lies there, feeling the soft comfort of his blankets. Then he remembers. Today is delivery day. The real delivery day. He smiles gently and reaches for his phone on the bedside table. There it is, a new notification. He taps the screen. Out for delivery, arriving this morning. He breathes out, long and calm. Okay, he whispers softly. It's coming. But now the feeling is different from before. Last time, he felt nervous. Last time, he panicked every time he heard a truck. Last time, his heart beat fast with worry. But today he feels calm, peaceful, patient, like someone who trusts the process. He gets up slowly, washes his face, brushes his teeth, and makes himself a warm cup of tea. He drinks it while listening to soft music from his little orange speaker. The music fills the room like warm sunlight spreading across the floor. He whispers, "Thank you, surprise speaker. You helped make the wait nicer." He opens his curtains and looks outside. The street is quiet. A few people walk by. A dog barks in the distance. Everything feels simple. He sits at the table with his tea and opens his laptop. He checks the tracking page again, not in a rush, but with a calm, friendly smile. The page shows, out for delivery. Nothing more. Nothing less. Perfect. He closes the laptop and begins doing small tasks around his room, folding clothes, organizing his desk, cleaning a little. He doesn't want to sit by the window all day. He wants to feel relaxed. Every now and then, he hears a car outside. But he doesn't run to the door. He doesn't panic. He simply listens and thinks, it will come when it comes. Time passes gently. 30 minutes. An hour. Another hour. He checks the tracking page again. Still, out for delivery. He nods. It's okay, he whispers. He goes to his bookshelf and picks up a small English book he has been reading. He reads slowly, softly, tasting each word like warm soup on a cold day. He reads for understanding, not for speed. He reads a short sentence in the book. Good things take time. He smiles. That is true, he whispers. Around 11 in the morning, he hears it. The sound. The familiar, quiet sound. A truck engine. Soft footsteps. A knock. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel freezes for 1 second, not in fear, but in surprise. Then he stands up, calm and steady. He walks to the door and opens it. A delivery person stands outside with a small brown box in hand. Package for Daniel, he says. Daniel smiles warmly. Yes, that's me. He signs on the small screen, thanks the delivery person, and closes the door gently. He looks at the box in his hands. This time, he doesn't feel scared. This time, he doesn't feel nervous. This time, he feels ready. He places the box on the table. He takes a deep breath. He opens it slowly, carefully, like opening a small treasure. Inside the box, wrapped neatly in plastic, sitting softly like a tiny gift, are the headphones. The correct headphones. The black ones he chose. The ones he waited for. He lifts them gently, turning them in his hands. They feel light but strong. Smooth but firm. Simple but beautiful. He smiles, a big, warm smile. Yes, he whispers, these are the ones. He tries them on. They feel soft on his ears. Comfortable. Perfect. He connects them to his phone. A small sound plays. He chooses a song, something calm, something simple. He presses play. And the sound. The sound is clear. Warm. Balanced. Better than he expected. He closes his eyes and lets the music surround him. He whispers softly, wow, they're perfect. He takes them off slowly and looks at them again. He feels thankful not only for the product, but for the journey. He thinks about everything that happened. The wrong item. The orange speaker. The customer service chat. The waiting. The patience. The learning. He sits down, breathes in deeply, and whispers. This wasn't just shopping. This was practice. This was English. This was life. He opens his laptop once more and goes to the order page. A button appears. Leave a review for the replacement. He clicks it. He begins typing slowly. I received my replacement today. The headphones are comfortable, light, and the sound is very clear. Customer service was fast and helpful. I am happy with the product. Thank you. He reads the review again. It feels calm, honest, simple. Exactly the kind of review he appreciates from others. He presses submit. The page refreshes. His new review appears at the top. Daniel leans back and smiles. A soft, proud smile. His room is quiet. The orange speaker sits on his shelf, waiting for the next song. The headphones rest in his hands, warm and gentle. The world outside continues moving slowly, peacefully. He whispers, this was a long road, but a good one. He feels stronger now. More confident. More comfortable with English. More understanding of the world of online shopping. He looks out the window and watches the soft clouds floating across the sky. He thinks sometimes we learn the most from the simple things. From a package. From a mistake. From waiting. From small surprises. Daniel sits at his desk, holding his new headphones in his hands. They feel smooth, soft, and light. For a moment, he simply looks at them, as if he is looking at a small treasure. He turns them slowly, watching how the morning light shines on the black surface. He smiles quietly. Now it begins, he whispers. He puts the headphones on. The soft cushions hug his ears gently. He plays a song, the same song he listened to yesterday on the orange speaker. But this time the sound feels different. Clearer. Fuller. More detailed. Like the music is closer to him, almost sitting beside him. He closes his eyes for a moment and lets the music fill his mind. Every note feels warm. Every sound feels clean. Every beat feels soft but steady. He whispers, yes, this is perfect. He opens his eyes and sits up straight. He begins to explore how the headphones can help him with English. First, he opens a simple English listening video. He presses play. A calm voice begins speaking slowly. Hello. Today, we will practice simple English sentences. The sound is clear. Very clear. It feels like the voice is speaking directly into his mind, without any background noise, without distractions. Daniel repeats the sentences softly. He likes how the words sound in his ears. He likes how easy it is to hear small details, like the ending of words, the rhythm of sentences, the soft sounds between phrases. He whispers, I can hear everything. Next, he opens a podcast in simple English. He listens for 5 minutes. Then 10. Then 20. He smiles. I understand more than before, he thinks. He is not sure if his listening skills improved overnight, or if the headphones are simply helping him focus better. Maybe both. But it doesn't matter. He feels progress. And progress feels good. After a while, he stands up and stretches. He walks around his room while listening to the podcast. He likes how the headphones stay comfortable on his ears, even when he moves. He walks to the kitchen, makes another cup of tea, and keeps listening. He listens while waiting for the water to boil. He listens while pouring the tea. He listens while standing at the window, watching the street below. He whispers, "This is nice. I like learning like this." When he finishes his tea, he returns to his desk. He decides to test his speaking skills. He opens a speaking practice video. A friendly voice says, "Repeat after me. I want to improve my English." Daniel repeats it clearly. "I want to improve my English." He listens again. "I can speak with more confidence." He repeats, "I can speak with more confidence." He hears his own voice through the headphones when he uses the microphone. His voice sounds different, clearer, smoother, stronger. He whispers, "So this is how I sound. Interesting." For a moment, he feels proud. He likes what he hears. He practices more phrases. "My English is getting better. I can communicate clearly. I learn a little every day. I am not afraid of mistakes." Each sentence feels like a small message of hope, a reminder, a tiny celebration. He takes off the headphones for a moment and places them gently on the table. He touches them softly, smiling. "These will help me a lot," he whispers. He thinks about how far he has come. 2 days ago, he was nervous. He was confused. He felt unsure about writing to customer service. He worried his English might not be good enough. But now he feels stronger. He feels more confident. He feels ready for new things. He stands up, stretches his arms high, and breathes deeply. Then he decides to step outside. He puts on a jacket, opens his door, and walks down the stairs. Outside, the air is cool and fresh. He takes out his headphones, puts them on, and starts walking down the street. He listens to a simple English story. The narrator speaks slowly, clearly, like a friend walking beside him. Daniel walks past small shops, a bus stop, and a little bakery. He walks past people chatting, children laughing, and cars moving slowly. But in his ears, there is only the calm English story. Every sentence feels peaceful. Every word feels easy. Every moment feels warm. He whispers softly, "This is a good way to learn." He sits on a bench near a quiet park and looks around. The trees move gently in the wind. The sky is soft blue. The birds fly low across the grass. The voice in the headphones continues the story, and Daniel listens carefully. He repeats a few new words. He laughs quietly when the story becomes funny. He smiles when a character says something kind. He feels happy, truly happy. After a while, he pauses the story and removes the headphones. The world outside feels different after listening so closely, almost quieter, softer. He whispers, "I can really learn anywhere, not just at home." He walks back home slowly, enjoying the sunshine. When he arrives, he takes off his shoes and sits on the floor with a small notebook. He writes, "Things I learned today." Then he writes simple sentences. He writes about listening. He writes about speaking. He writes about confidence. He writes about patience. When he finishes, he closes the notebook. He puts the headphones on again and sits cross-legged on the floor. He plays soft music and closes his eyes. He thinks about buying things online. He thinks about the order, the mistake, the speaker, the waiting. He thinks about how everything turned out all right, better than all right. And he whispers, sometimes, a mistake becomes a gift. He breathes slowly. He smiles. He feels calm. The headphones rest gently on his ears, playing soft music. The room is peaceful, warm, and quiet. The next morning begins in a warm, quiet way. Daniel wakes up feeling rested, peaceful, and ready for another simple day. He stretches his arms, rubs his eyes, and looks at the headphones resting on his bedside table. They sit there like a small friend, waiting patiently. He smiles softly and whispers, "Good morning, little helpers." He picks them up, puts them on, and plays soft music while he gets ready. The sound feels familiar now, like a warm blanket that wraps around him. He loves how the headphones make the music clearer, softer, and closer. While brushing his teeth, he thinks about someone. His friend Maria. Maria is one of the few people he practices English with. She is patient. She is kind. She is always excited to learn new things. Daniel thinks, maybe I should tell her about this whole online shopping story. She will laugh. She will understand. She will like it. He finishes getting ready and makes breakfast, simple toast and warm tea. He sits at his small kitchen table and takes a deep breath. Then he picks up his phone and sends Maria a message. "Good morning. I had an interesting online shopping experience. Do you want to hear it?" He places the phone down and continues eating. A few minutes later, the phone buzzes. He checks the screen. Maria replied, "Of course. Tell me everything. Did something funny happen?" Daniel smiles. Yes, something funny did happen. Something surprising. Something he never expected. He sends one more message. "Do you want to call?" It's easier to explain. Maria replies quickly, "Yes. Call me." Daniel puts on his headphones. They feel soft and comfortable, and presses the call button. Maria answers with her usual cheerful voice. "Hello, Daniel. What happened? Tell me." Daniel laughs softly. "Okay, let me start from the beginning." He tells her everything. The whole story. Slowly. Clearly. Simply. He tells her about ordering the black headphones. He tells her about waiting. He tells her about the delivery day. He tells her about opening the box and finding a bright orange speaker instead. Maria laughs loudly. "No way. Are you serious? An orange speaker? How does that even happen?" Daniel laughs too. "I don't know, but it happened to me." Maria asks, "So, what did you do?" Daniel explains how he wrote to customer service. How careful he was with his English. How nervous he felt. How they answered kindly. How they said he could keep the speaker. Maria says, "That's amazing. Free gift." Daniel laughs, "Yes. I wasn't expecting that." Then he explains how he waited for the replacement. How he felt more calm this time. How he used the wait to practice English. How he started reading reviews like short stories. How he listened to podcasts and learned new phrases. Maria says softly, "You really turned a mistake into something good." Daniel nods, even though she can't see him. "It taught me a lot. Not just about shopping, but about English." Maria pauses for a second, then says, "You know, your English sounds different today." Daniel feels a warm surprise in his chest. "Different? How?" Maria says, "You sound clearer. More confident. Your voice. I don't know, it feels stronger." Daniel touches the headphones on his ears. He whispers, "It's the headphones. They help me hear myself better." Maria laughs. No. It's not just the headphones. It's you." He smiles softly, quietly. Maria continues, "Before, your English felt careful. Very careful. Like you were afraid of mistakes. But today, you sound relaxed. Natural. Like someone who trusts himself." Daniel feels warm inside. He hadn't noticed. Not really. But hearing it from Maria makes it real. He whispers, "I think. I learned to be patient. Patient with English. Patient with mistakes. Patient with myself." Maria says, "That's beautiful. And important." Daniel continues the story. He tells her how the real headphones arrived. How perfect they were. How the music sounded. How he listened to a podcast while walking outside. how happy he felt. Maria listens carefully and says, Daniel, I'm proud of you. Daniel feels a soft pressure in his chest, not sadness, but emotion. He whispers, thank you, Maria. Really? Maria then says something funny, and you know what the best part is? Daniel laughs, what? You got 2 things for the price of 1. Daniel laughs loudly, yes. That's true. They both laugh together for a while, enjoying the moment, the story, and the simple happiness of sharing something real. Maria then asks, so, are you going to use the speaker too? Daniel looks at the orange speaker sitting on his shelf. He smiles. Yes, it's actually really good. I use it for music in the morning. Maria says, see? Everything worked out perfectly. Daniel nods again. Yes, better than I expected. Then Maria asks a question that makes him think. What did you learn from all this? Daniel pauses. He takes a deep breath. He answers slowly. I learned that mistakes happen. And it's okay. I learned that English becomes easier when I relax. I learned that reviews are like stories, real stories from real people. I learned that customer service is not scary. I learned patience. And I learned to trust myself more. Maria says softly, that's a lot of learning. Daniel smiles. Yes, and it all started with the wrong package. They both laugh gently. The call continues for almost an hour. They talk about English. They talk about learning. They talk about fear. They talk about confidence. They talk about little things that make life brighter. Finally, Maria says, thank you for sharing this. I loved the story. Daniel replies, thank you for listening. He ends the call and takes off the headphones. He sits back and breathes slowly. He feels light, warm, connected. He thinks about how sharing the story made it even more real, made it even more meaningful. Sometimes, a simple conversation with a friend is exactly what the heart needs. He looks at the headphones again and whispers, you helped me today. The afternoon sunlight is soft, warm, and golden. It fills Daniel's room like a quiet blessing. He sits at his desk, wearing his comfortable headphones, and looks at his laptop screen with peaceful curiosity. He whispers to himself today, I want to understand reviews better. He opens the website he used before, the same one where he read about shoes, speakers, and headphones. But today, he wants to go deeper. He wants to learn more English through reviews. He wants to understand how people write them, why they write them, and how they can help. He takes a deep breath, smiling softly. Okay, he whispers, let's explore. He clicks on a random item, a simple blue backpack. He scrolls down to the reviews section. He reads the first one slowly. Good quality. Nice color. Fast shipping. He nods. Yes, simple. Easy to understand. But he wants more. He clicks the second review. I bought this backpack for school. It's strong and has many pockets. The zippers feel good. The color is a little darker than the picture, but I still like it. Daniel smiles. This is the kind of review he loves, friendly, honest, human. He repeats some phrases softly. Strong. Many pockets. Zippers feel good. A little darker than the picture. He whispers these phrases. They are common. Useful. Then he scrolls to a 3-star review. Backpack is okay. Not great. Not bad. Quality is average. The straps are a bit thin, so they hurt my shoulders if I carry heavy things. Daniel reads it slowly, carefully. Okay. Average. A bit thin. Hurt my shoulders. He feels himself learning. He feels his English waking up, stretching like a cat in the sun. He scrolls again and finds a 1-star review. The message is short and a little intense. Terrible. The backpack ripped after 2 days. Waste of money. Daniel breathes out slowly. Yes, some people write like this too. Short. Angry. Emotional. He scrolls again and finds a 5-star review with many details. I love this backpack. I used it for a week-long trip, and it survived everything. Rain, dirt, heavy clothes, long walks. The material is strong and easy to clean. I recommend it. Daniel repeats softly, survived everything. Easy to clean. I recommend it. He feels happy. He feels calm. He feels like he is reading small pieces of life, small stories from people he will never meet, written in simple English. He whispers, reviews teach me so much. He scrolls more. A review says, good value for the price. He repeats, good value. One of the most common review phrases. Another review says, just as described. Another common one. Another says, the size is perfect. He repeats again, size is perfect. He smiles. These phrases appear again and again. They're like the basic vocabulary of online shopping. As he reads, Daniel begins to think about how reviews are not just comments. They're more than that. They're communication. They're small windows into people's lives. They're practice for English learners, if you read them with patience. He leans back in his chair, puts his hands behind his head, and looks up at the ceiling. Reviews can teach me how people think, he whispers. How they feel. How they talk. How they explain. He returns to the screen and clicks another product, a coffee mug. He scrolls to the reviews. A humorous review appears. It says, I bought this mug for my coffee. But now my husband uses it every morning and I never see it. So I guess it's good. Daniel laughs out loud. That's funny, he says softly. He likes when reviews have personality. It makes learning more fun. He scrolls to another review. This one is emotional. I bought this mug as a gift for my mother. She loves it. She says it keeps her tea warm and makes her smile. Daniel feels a warm feeling inside his chest. Small moments, simple stories, real people, all in English, all easy to understand if you give it time. He clicks to another product, a jacket. He scrolls down. He sees many different reviews. Fits perfectly. Too small. Color is beautiful. The zipper broke. Very comfortable. Material is soft. Not warm enough. Daniel repeats each short sentence softly, letting the rhythm of English settle inside him. Fits perfectly. Too small. Beautiful color. Zipper broke. Very comfortable. Material is soft. Not warm enough. He feels like he is building a small toolbox, a toolbox of real-life English phrases that he can use anytime. Then, he clicks on a long review for the jacket. He reads slowly. I live in a cold city, and I needed something warm. This jacket is okay for light weather, but not for strong winter. The quality is nice, but I wish it was thicker. Still, I like the style. It looks good. Daniel nods. He hears the voice of the reviewer in his mind, calm, honest, balanced. He smiles softly. He thinks about how reviews show different opinions. Some people love something. Some people hate it. Some people are in the middle. And all of it, all the opinions, all the emotions, all the stories, come together to form a complete picture. He whispers, reviews help me make better choices. And they help me learn better English. He scrolls down and sees the small button, write a review. He smiles. He already wrote his review yesterday. He feels proud of it, proud because it was simple, honest, and clear. And now, reading more reviews, he starts to understand something else, something deeper. People write reviews to help others. People write reviews to share their experience. People write reviews to make someone else's life easier. Daniel looks around his quiet room. The headphones rest on his head softly. The orange speaker sits on the shelf quietly. His room feels peaceful and safe. He whispers softly, I want to be part of this. I want to help too. He thinks about how he felt before, nervous, insecure, afraid of making mistakes. And now he feels different. More open. More confident. More connected to the world. He closes his laptop gently and takes off his headphones. He holds them in his hands and smiles. "You helped me understand English better," he whispers. Then he stands up, stretches his legs, and walks to the window. The world outside is moving slowly, people walking, cars passing, clouds drifting across the sky. He watches them with quiet peace. He whispers, "I can learn from everything, even from reviews." And then he smiles, a warm, gentle, proud smile. Because he knows something important. His journey with English is growing, deepening, expanding, one simple review at a time. Evening falls softly over Daniel's room. The sky outside has turned a deep blue with gentle shades of pink along the horizon. The light from his desk lamp fills his small space with a warm, soft glow. He sits at his desk wearing his new headphones and sipping a cup of tea. The music in his ears is gentle, soothing, and calm. He leans back in his chair, thinking quietly. "I have learned a lot these past days," he whispers softly. "Not just English, patience, confidence, and how to enjoy the process." He thinks about the very first moment he started this journey, ordering headphones online. The confusion he felt, the fear of making mistakes, the nervousness when the wrong item arrived, the endless waiting. He smiles softly. Yes, it was stressful, but it was also the beginning of something important. He opens his laptop and plays a simple English listening lesson. A calm voice says, "Today, we will practice everyday English conversations. Listen carefully and repeat after me." Daniel repeats slowly, softly, clearly. "I would like to order this item. Can you help me, please? How long will delivery take? The size is correct. The color is different from the picture." He pauses and thinks. Before, these sentences were hard. I worried. I felt nervous. Now, they feel natural. He repeats them again, feeling the rhythm of English in his mouth. He whispers softly, "I feel confident." Then he opens a podcast about daily life. He listens carefully, repeating some words in his mind. He notices new words, new phrases, and familiar expressions. He smiles as he realizes he understands more than before. Daniel feels something important: growth. Not big, sudden growth. Slow, steady growth. The kind that builds strength quietly, without forcing anything. He looks at his headphones on the desk. Soft, black, smooth. A simple tool, but also a teacher. He whispers, "You helped me learn." Then he thinks about the orange speaker. Funny, unexpected, bright orange. At first, a mistake. Now, a gift. A friend during the waiting days. A teacher for patience and focus. Daniel takes the speaker from the shelf and places it on the desk next to the headphones. He smiles softly. "They both helped me," he whispers. He takes a deep breath and thinks about his practice. The speaking lessons. The podcasts. The reviews he read. The sentences he repeated. The soft music he listened to while walking outside. All of it, it was building something. Confidence. Patience. Understanding. Flow. He closes his eyes for a moment, listening to the soft hum of the music through the headphones. The words float around him. Every sentence feels clearer. Every word feels familiar. Every phrase feels useful. He opens his notebook and writes slowly. "Today I feel confident. I can speak. I can listen. I can understand. I can enjoy learning." He reads it aloud. "I can enjoy learning." He smiles softly, quietly. This simple sentence feels powerful. He repeats it again. "I can enjoy learning." Then he thinks about mistakes. The wrong headphones. The times he misunderstood reviews. The words he mispronounced. He realizes something important. Mistakes are not bad. They are practice. They are steps on the journey. They are teachers. He whispers, "Mistakes are okay." He repeats it again. "Mistakes are okay." Daniel thinks about the days he waited for the replacement. The nervousness, the frustration, the patience he needed, the quiet practice he did while waiting. He smiles softly. He is proud, quietly proud. Not in a loud way, but in a calm, steady way. He opens a video about simple English conversations. A calm voice says, "Repeat after me. Hello. How are you today?" Daniel repeats, "Hello. How are you today?" The voice continues, "I am fine, thank you." "And you?" Daniel whispers softly, "I am fine, thank you." "And you?" He notices something. His voice sounds natural. He sounds like someone who is learning, but also enjoying it. Not nervous. Not rushed. Not afraid. He repeats a few more sentences. "I like to read reviews online. I practice English every day. I enjoy learning new words. I am proud of my progress." Daniel leans back in his chair and breathes deeply. He feels calm. He feels strong. He feels ready. He looks at the headphones again. He touches them gently. He whispers softly, "You helped me build confidence." He thinks about the next step in his learning journey. Listening, speaking, understanding, sharing. He feels ready to explore new topics, new sentences, new words, slowly, naturally, comfortably. He puts the headphones on again and plays soft music. He closes his eyes and lets the words float around him. He feels steady. He feels patient. He feels like he is exactly where he needs to be. Daniel whispers softly, "English is easier when I am calm. Life is easier when I am patient. I can enjoy both." He smiles gently, closes his eyes, and listens. The soft music, the gentle voice of English lessons, the quiet hum of the world outside, all of it feels peaceful. All of it feels right. He knows now, progress is slow. Growth is quiet. Learning is steady. And mistakes are gifts. He whispers one last time before lying back in his chair, "I am ready for the next step. I am ready for more English. I am ready for more life." And with that soft thought, Daniel feels calm, happy, and confident. He has learned that patience, practice, and gentle listening are keys to learning English naturally and living life fully. The morning light enters Daniel's room softly, touching the edges of his desk and spilling across his notebook. He wakes up slowly, stretching his arms, feeling peaceful and ready. The headphones rest on the desk like quiet friends, waiting for him. He smiles softly and whispers, "Good morning." He knows today is another day to practice English, not just lessons, but life, words, listening, speaking, and understanding. He reaches for his notebook and opens a clean page. The first line he writes is simple: "Daily English practice." He smiles at the words, feeling calm. Daniel thinks about what he can do today. Not too much, not too fast. Just small, steady steps. He remembers what he learned. Mistakes are okay, patience is important, and simple habits make a difference. He decides to start with listening. He puts on his headphones and opens a simple English podcast. A calm voice begins. "Good morning. Today we will practice greetings and daily sentences. Listen carefully and repeat after me." Daniel repeats slowly, softly, clearly, "Good morning. How are you today?" "I am fine, thank you." "And you?" "I like to read. I enjoy learning English." He repeats each sentence a few times, noticing how the words feel in his mouth. He smiles. He feels his English flowing more naturally, like a river moving gently. After 10 minutes of listening, he decides to practice speaking. He opens a video lesson that teaches simple phrases for daily life. "Repeat after me," says the calm voice. "I would like a cup of tea, please. I need some help. Can you show me the way? The price is too high." Daniel repeats slowly, carefully, and then tries to make small variations. "I would like some coffee, please. I need a little help. Can you tell me the way? The price is a bit high. He notices how changing small words makes sentences feel natural and flexible. He whispers softly, "This is how English works. I can change words and still speak clearly." After speaking practice, Daniel decides to read a few reviews online. Not just for fun, but for learning. He opens a product he likes, a small notebook. The first review reads, "Good quality. Nice paper. Easy to write." Daniel repeats slowly, "Good quality. Nice paper. Easy to write." He smiles. Each small phrase is like a building block for his English. The next review says, "I bought this notebook for school. It is very strong and lasts a long time. I like the design. It is simple but practical." Daniel reads slowly, repeating in soft whispers, "Very strong. Lasts a long time. Simple but practical." He begins to notice patterns. Words that appear often. Phrases that sound natural. Reviews are not just about products, they're small stories in simple English. He writes some of these phrases in his notebook. Good quality. Lasts a long time. Simple but practical. Easy to write. He smiles and whispers, "These will help me speak and write better." Next, Daniel thinks about listening while moving. He puts on his headphones and goes for a short walk outside. The sun is gentle, the air is fresh, and the world feels calm. He plays a simple English story through the headphones. A calm voice tells a story about a small dog and its adventures in the city. Daniel listens carefully, repeating soft words and short sentences to himself. The dog runs fast. The dog is happy. The dog meets a friend. He notices how easy it is to understand when the words are slow and clear. He repeats softly, practicing his rhythm, pronunciation, and listening. After the walk, he returns home and makes tea. He sits at the kitchen table and decides to combine listening and speaking with writing. He opens his notebook and writes about the story he just listened to. The dog runs fast. The dog is happy. The dog meets a friend. He reads the sentences aloud. His voice is calm, clear, natural. Daniel feels proud, quietly proud. Not loud, not showy, but steady and warm. He thinks about his headphones. Without them, he might not hear the soft words clearly. Without them, he might not feel confident repeating sentences. They have become tools for learning, soft, gentle tools that help him grow. Next, Daniel decides to review new words. He opens a small vocabulary list he created. He reads slowly, fast, quick. Happy, feeling good. Friend, someone you like. Simple, easy. Practical, useful. He repeats each word, whispers it, writes it down, and makes a short sentence. The dog runs fast. I am happy today. My friend helps me. This task is simple. This notebook is practical. He notices how words and phrases combine naturally when practiced. Then he thinks about tomorrow. What will he do? How can he continue? He writes a small plan. Listen 10 to 15 minutes. Speak 10 minutes. Read 5 to 10 reviews. Write sentences. Review vocabulary. He smiles. The plan is simple, steady, and realistic. Not too hard. Not too easy. Just enough to make progress every day. Daniel leans back and breathes slowly. He feels peaceful. He feels strong. He feels confident. He whispers softly, "Daily habits make learning easier. Slow steps bring progress. I can do this every day." He closes his notebook and puts on soft music. He lies back in his chair, feeling calm, patient, and ready for tomorrow. He whispers one last thought before closing his eyes. English is not only words. It is listening, speaking, reading, and living. Every day, I practice a little. Every day, I grow a little. The next morning, sunlight pours through Daniel's window. It touches his desk, his headphones, and the notebook lying open. The world feels calm, quiet, soft. Daniel sits comfortably in his chair, puts on his headphones, and whispers softly today. I want to enjoy English differently. I want to learn with stories. He opens his laptop and finds a simple English story video. The title is The Little Boy and the Lost Puppy. He smiles. Stories are fun. Stories are easy to remember. Stories make words live. The video begins. A calm voice narrates slowly. Once upon a time, there was a little boy. His name was Tom. Tom loved puppies. One day, he found a lost puppy on the street. Daniel repeats softly, little boy. Tom loved puppies, found a lost puppy. He notices the rhythm of the sentences. Short, clear, easy to repeat. The narrator continues. Tom picked up the puppy. The puppy was scared. Tom said, don't worry. I will take care of you. Daniel repeats softly, don't worry. I will take care of you. He smiles quietly. These sentences feel warm, friendly, safe. The story continues. Tom asks neighbors, posts pictures online, and finally finds the puppy's owner. Everyone is happy. The puppy is happy. Tom is happy. Daniel repeats words and short sentences from the story. The puppy is happy. Tom is happy. Everyone is happy. He notices something important. Repetition helps learning. Stories make English stick in his mind. Words and phrases feel natural. After the story ends, Daniel writes a short summary in his notebook. He writes slowly and clearly. Tom found a lost puppy. The puppy was scared. Tom helped the puppy. The owner was happy. Everyone was happy. He reads it aloud softly. Tom found a lost puppy. The puppy was scared. Tom helped the puppy. The owner was happy. Everyone was happy. He smiles. This small exercise makes him feel strong. He understands more. He can speak more. He can remember better. Then Daniel decides to make his own story. A small story, simple English, short sentences. He writes, yesterday I bought headphones. They were black. The delivery was late. A speaker came first. I kept the speaker. The new headphones arrived. I listened to podcasts. I practiced English. I am happy. He reads it aloud, slowly, softly, clearly. I practiced English. I am happy. He notices something important. Every sentence tells a small story. Every sentence is simple, natural, and easy to repeat. Stories help him use English with confidence. Daniel then thinks about combining stories with daily life. He decides to practice listening while walking. He puts on his headphones and plays a new story. The story is about a girl learning to bake a cake. Daniel walks slowly outside. The sky is soft blue. Birds sing. Leaves move gently. He listens carefully, repeating short sentences quietly. She adds sugar. She mixes the eggs. The cake smells good. She is happy. Daniel smiles. Stories bring English alive. They make learning feel natural. Learning is no longer only about grammar or vocabulary. It is about life, people, feelings, actions, and small moments. After walking for 20 minutes, he returns home. He feels calm, confident, joyful. He sits at his desk and opens the notebook again. He writes a few sentences inspired by the stories he listened to. The little boy is kind. The puppy is scared. The girl is happy. I am learning English. I enjoy stories. He reads each sentence aloud, noticing how clear and natural English feels when he uses small words and short sentences. Then Daniel thinks about speaking with a friend. He picks up his phone and calls Maria. Hello, Maria. I listened to a story today, he says softly. Maria answers cheerfully, oh, what story? Daniel tells her, a little boy and a lost puppy. Short sentences. Easy English. Fun story. I repeated the words. Maria laughs gently. That sounds nice. Did you make your own story too? Yes, Daniel whispers. I wrote a small story about my headphones and learning English. Simple sentences. I like it. Maria says, I love that. Stories help English feel real. Daniel nods, smiling, even though she cannot see him. Yes, he whispers softly. Stories make English alive. Words feel natural. I feel confident. After the call, Daniel sits quietly and reflects. He thinks about the stories, the headphones, the practice, the reading, the speaking. He whispers to himself, stories are more than words. Stories are feelings, actions, and life. Stories make English simple, clear, and enjoyable. He opens his notebook again and writes a small plan. 1. Listen to a story every day. 2. Repeat short sentences. 3. Write a small summary. 4. Share a story with a friend. 5. Enjoy English. Daniel reads it aloud slowly. Enjoy English. He smiles. This simple sentence feels important. Finally, he leans back in his chair. The sun is soft on his face. The world outside moves gently. He breathes slowly and whispers. English is not only learning words. English is listening, speaking, reading, writing, and enjoying. Every day, a story. Every day, a step. Every day, growth. And in that soft evening light, Daniel feels peaceful, confident, and ready to continue. One story, one sentence, one small step at a time. The sun is low in the sky, casting soft orange light across Daniel's room. His headphones rest on his head as usual, and his notebook lies open on the desk. Today feels different. Calm. Warm. A little exciting. Daniel whispers softly today. I want to celebrate small wins. He thinks about the last few weeks. The journey with his headphones, the mix-up with the orange speaker, the podcasts, the stories, the reviews, the listening, speaking, and writing practice. He smiles softly. Each step was small. Each step was simple. Each step was meaningful. Daniel writes in his notebook, small wins. He thinks about the first small win, listening carefully to a podcast for 10 minutes without stopping. He remembers the nervousness he felt at first, the fear of not understanding, the frustration with new words. But he did it. Slowly, gently, step by step. He whispers softly, I did it. Then he writes the second small win, repeating short English sentences without hesitation. He thinks about the first time he tried, stumbling over words, feeling unsure, feeling nervous. But he kept practicing. Slowly, clearly, repeating, repeating, repeating. I did it, he whispers again, smiling. Daniel looks at the headphones. They helped him hear clearly. They helped him focus. They helped him trust himself. He touches them softly and whispers, thank you. He then thinks about reading reviews online. At first, it felt strange. Strange words. Strange sentences. Strange people. But he read slowly, repeated phrases, and learned new expressions. Another small win. He writes in his notebook, read reviews, and learned new phrases. He smiles. Each phrase, each sentence, each word is a small victory. Next, Daniel thinks about sharing his story with Maria. The nervousness he felt. The fear of speaking. The worry about mistakes. But he called her. Slowly explained everything. Laughed together. Shared feelings. Learned from mistakes. He writes, shared story with Maria and spoke confidently. Daniel breathes slowly. He feels calm. Warm. Proud. Not loud pride, but gentle, steady pride. Then he thinks about writing his own stories in simple English. He remembers the first story he wrote, the headphones, the orange speaker, the learning, the feelings. It was short, simple, honest, but it worked. It helped him practice writing, speaking, and thinking in English. Another small win. He writes in his notebook, "Wrote my own story in English." He leans back in his chair and reflects. All these wins may seem small, tiny even, but each one matters. Each one builds confidence. Each one makes learning real. He whispers softly, "Small steps lead to big changes." Daniel then looks at the soft music playing through his headphones. He remembers listening to stories while walking, listening while cooking, listening while making tea, listening while reading reviews. Each moment was practice. Each moment was learning. Each moment was a small win. He writes again, "Used every moment to practice English." He smiles quietly. He thinks about the feelings calm, patient, joyful, confident. He knows now that learning English is not about rushing. It is not about perfection. It is about small wins repeated daily with patience and care. Daniel closes his notebook for a moment and breathes deeply. The soft light of the evening touches his face. Outside, the world is calm. Birds move gently. Leaves move softly. The world seems to whisper, "Keep going." He whispers softly, "I am proud of myself." Then he thinks about tomorrow. Not the big goals. Not the faraway dreams. Just the next small step. Just the next simple habit. He whispers again, "Tomorrow I will listen. Tomorrow I will speak. Tomorrow I will read. Tomorrow I will write. Tomorrow I will enjoy English." Daniel smiles. The plan is simple, gentle, realistic, steady. He stands up and stretches. His headphones slide slightly off his ears. He touches them lightly. They have been his partner in learning. "Thank you," he whispers softly. Then he takes the orange speaker from the shelf and places it near his desk. Funny, bright, unexpected. It reminds him of patience, flexibility, and joy. He whispers, "Thank you too." Daniel sits down again, headphones on, soft music playing, notebook open, pen in hand. He begins to write a short summary of the day. Today I listened to English. I spoke English. I read English. I wrote English. I practiced stories. I repeated sentences. I felt proud. I celebrated small wins. I am ready for tomorrow. He reads it aloud slowly and softly. I celebrated small wins. I am ready for tomorrow. Daniel leans back in his chair. He feels calm, confident, and happy. He knows now, learning English is a journey of small steps. Each small win is a victory. Each step builds patience, confidence, and joy. He whispers one last thought before the day ends. Small wins matter. Every day matters. Every step matters. I can enjoy learning English and life, one gentle step at a time. And with that quiet thought, Daniel feels peaceful, proud, and ready for another day of listening, speaking, reading, writing, and growing. The morning is quiet and soft. Sunlight gently fills Daniel's room, touching the desk, the orange speaker, the notebook, and his headphones. Today feels like a special day. A day to think about lessons, learning, and mistakes. Daniel whispers softly today. I want to understand mistakes differently. He remembers the first day he received the wrong package. The black headphones he ordered never came first. Instead, he found a bright orange speaker sitting in the box. He remembers the shock, confusion, and nervousness he felt. At that moment, he thought, "This is bad. What do I do now?" He remembers writing an email to customer service, slowly and carefully, using his best English. He remembers feeling nervous about mistakes in his sentences. And then he remembers the answer he received. Kind, patient, helpful. They told him he could keep the orange speaker and that the real headphones would arrive soon. Daniel whispers softly, "Even mistakes can bring good things." He sits at his desk, opens his notebook, and writes, "Mistakes are lessons." He smiles softly. Each word feels important. Each word feels true. Then he remembers reading reviews. At first, he struggled. Some reviews were short. Some were long. Some used words he did not know. He misread a few sentences. He misunderstood small details. At first, he felt frustrated, nervous, afraid he would not understand. But he did not give up. He read slowly, repeated words softly, practiced phrases, learned new expressions. Another lesson. Another small victory. He writes again. Mistakes teach patience and practice. Daniel thinks about the day he called Maria. He remembers how nervous he was to explain the story of the wrong package. What if he mispronounced words? What if she did not understand? But he did it anyway. Slowly, clearly, honestly. Maria laughed. She listened. She shared her own thoughts. She praised him for patience, confidence, and learning. Daniel smiles quietly. He writes, "Sharing mistakes helps confidence." He then thinks about learning vocabulary. Some words were confusing. He mispronounced practical several times. He forgot average. He stumbled over recommend. But each mistake helped him learn better. He repeated words, wrote them down, practiced with sentences. Another lesson. Another win. Daniel whispers softly, "Mistakes are part of learning." He looks at the headphones on his desk. Soft, comfortable, familiar. They helped him listen. They helped him hear mistakes. They helped him correct mistakes. He touches them gently and whispers, "You helped me understand mistakes." Then he thinks about the orange speaker again. Unexpected. Bright. Funny. At first, a problem. Later, a gift. A reminder that mistakes can be positive. He writes in his notebook, "Even problems can become gifts." Daniel leans back in his chair, reflecting. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are teachers. Mistakes guide learning. Mistakes create growth. He whispers softly, "Every mistake has a lesson." Then he remembers the small sentences he practiced. The dog runs fast. The puppy is scared. I practiced English. I am happy. He smiles softly. Small mistakes in these sentences taught him pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. Daniel decides to write a short story about mistakes. He writes slowly, carefully, clearly. Yesterday, I ordered headphones. The wrong item came. I was nervous. I wrote to customer service. They were kind. I kept the wrong item. The real headphones arrived. I learned patience. I practiced English. I am happy. He reads it aloud slowly, softly, clearly. I learned patience. I practiced English. I am happy. Daniel realizes something important. Mistakes, patience, practice, and learning are connected. They create confidence. They create understanding. They create joy. He writes in his notebook, "Mistakes plus patience plus practice equals learning plus confidence plus joy." He smiles softly. The formula feels simple, true, useful. Next, Daniel thinks about tomorrow. Mistakes will happen again. Mispronounced words. Misunderstood sentences. Confused phrases. Wrong clicks online. Wrong answers. But now he feels ready. Calm. Patient. Confident. He whispers, "Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are lessons. I can learn from them." Daniel opens a podcast and listens to a short English story. He repeats sentences softly. He smiles when he notices small mistakes in his pronunciation. He corrects them gently, slowly, clearly. Another small lesson learned. Another small win. He writes in his notebook, Correcting mistakes makes me stronger. Daniel leans back, headphones on, soft music playing, sunlight warm on his face. He feels calm, peaceful, proud, and confident. He whispers softly one last time, "Mistakes are friends. They guide me. They teach me. They help me grow. I am ready for every step, every word, every story." And that's it for today's journey, friends. Remember, learning English is not about perfection. It's about listening, speaking, practicing, and enjoying every small step along the way. Celebrate your little wins, learn from your mistakes, and let every story, every conversation, and every word bring you closer to speaking confidently and naturally. Keep practicing, stay patient, and most of all, have fun with English. Until next time, keep talking, keep listening, and keep growing.